From the very beginning of this year, we knew the time would come when we could no longer meet on the backfield and we would have to move D teams inside the building. When that happens, D teams are still happening because there is a safe indoor option. Number one, come to the west side of the church, and there's gonna be two different entrances that students enter the building from. If you're in middle school, you're gonna look for the yellow sign and you're gonna go in those doors that are just to the left of the yellow sign. And if you're high school, you're gonna look for the other double doors that are just to the right of that. And you're gonna go in those doors to the lower level of the church, follow the signs, and you'll make it upstairs to your D team rooms that way. Once you get inside the building, first of all, masks are required at all times. Outside, we've been taking masks off. Once you get in your circles and you're in your groups, inside the building, masks must be worn at all times. But the other thing that will happen is students will get their temperature taken immediately. Parents, do not leave immediately when you drop your kids off. Give it like 5 minutes, because just making sure that they're not gonna come back out because they had a temperature and they need to get back home. It'll save you coming back. Temperatures taken, masks worn. Now, one of the key pieces once students enter the building, if the high school students follow the signs, the upstairs, all the halls are set up in such a way with the rooms. So we have 4 middle school rooms, 4 high school rooms. As I've said before, the specific room they are in may change each week based on the number of people in their team, because we want each room to be safe for that number, and rooms have different numbers that they are safe for. But one of the key things students need to follow is not crossing the blue line. Basically, when they come upstairs, whichever way, middle school comes in their door, don't go across the blue line up on their side. High school, when you come up this way, don't cross the blue line on your side. It keeps it, again, just the interaction a little bit less. At one point, students high school may have to cross this line to use the restroom, but that's the only reason they should have to do it. Otherwise, they don't cross the blue line. So this is one of the high school rooms, and this is typical of how the rooms will be set up. Chairs are spaced at least 6 feet apart. Students will be required to wear masks. I still believe the environment in each room will be good for conversation. I still believe that it can be a great D team experience. At the end of the night, when it's time to leave, but basically it's 6:15, when D teams are over, have any conversation afterwards takes place in the room, and then when they're done, they leave the building immediately. So parents, it's important that you're here at 6:15. As always, we ask for a little grace. I know we're asking you to be somewhere at exact time. Sometimes conversation and D teams go a little bit longer, so we promise it'll be a 10-minute at most. Hey parents, the reality is, listen, whether it's in person or whether it's on Zoom, please continue to make D teams a priority in your student's life. I know with everything going on and all the masks and just tired of being on Zoom and things like this, there may be a lot of reasons why D teams would seem like something that is a low priority, but man, this is a top priority with your kids. Keeping them connected to relationships in the church, keeping them connected to a place where their faith is being encouraged. So please, students, if it's you on here, I know I get tired of Zoom too, but man, if that's the only way you can do it, man, check in. Nick and Christy and Katie, they are awesome, and they're waiting to be there and really have community and also have a great lesson each week. So on Zoom, or again, our D team leaders in person are awesome. So please make D teams a priority. Text us any questions you have. If there's things that you're concerned about, please let me know that as well. And love to see you at D teams on Sunday nights.